Hi everyone, welcome to 2021. You are listening to Alex Dawson Talk on Tuesday, coming to you live on the first and the third Tuesday of the month. Welcome to episode 4 of Providing the Ingredients for a Healthy Life. Today, I'm going to talk about goal setting and how to stick to them. So in episode 3, just before Christmas, I was talking about people this time of year are going to create New Year's resolutions. So we don't want to create New Year's resolutions because resolutions aren't, they're not accountable, you can't measure them. So what we want to do is we want to set our goals. So we all know 2020 wasn't the best year for some, perhaps, but it was a bit fuzzy, and it made every single one of us had to become a stronger person. Whether we realized it or not, we had to become a stronger person because of what we had to deal with. Whether that was homeschooling, and any other parents out there, then welcome back to homeschooling. We start tomorrow. But that's just the way it is at the moment. And I am sure as the year goes on, it will get better. But what can we do? What can we do to make this situation better for ourselves? Because it doesn't matter what is going on outside. It doesn't matter what the outside influences are. I've said this before, it's what we do and we think that is going to take us forward, whether it's out of a bad situation, whether it's just picking ourselves up to be able to carry on, whatever it is our own actions that are going to get us there. So, as always, I'm going to give you some great book recommendations, but one book that I really love is Your Best Year Yet by Ginny Ditzler. And in there, she breaks down different questions about how you can create your own goals for the following year. So today is going to be a bit of a practical session, and I'm also going to provide some notes at the end. You'll be able to find those on the blog pages of the website. And also this will also be posted on my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to find the information there. But what I just want us to do is, before we can set our goals and look at how we move forward, we need to look at what we did previously. So it's kind of 2 parts, and maybe you can take this more as a training if you like, but it's going to be really practical. And I really do hope that at the end of this, you're going to have something tangible that you can work with. Now, don't worry about keeping up with me here, because you can listen back. So as I've mentioned, you can listen back on the blog, you can listen back on the YouTube channel, or you can listen back through here on the Facebook group. So the first part is all about previous and setting those goals for what you're going to do moving ahead and how to pick those top few. And there's going to be 12 questions that I'm going to ask you. And then the second part, there are 6 questions, maybe 7 questions, on how we can make sure that we stick to those goals that we're setting ourselves. So I've done mine. So I literally have spent all day yesterday sitting down and rewriting my goals. So I have done this process myself, and I do this process every year, not quite as in depth as I did yesterday, which was just really, really interesting. So what you might want to do is listen back to this, like listen today and then listen back, and then the third time sit and actually apply, because as you're listening, things are going to be coming through your head, and as you re-listen, you'll think of other things. So let's start at the beginning. So we need to look back on 2020. Okay. So the first question is, what did I accomplish in 2020? Because although the world was a little bit crazy, probably an understatement, but there were things we did accomplish. As I mentioned earlier, you became a homeschool teacher if you're a parent of children of school age. You might have learned a bit of technology. You may have taken up a new hobby. You may have started a new business. You may have learned a new skill, whatever it is. You might have learned to cook. It could have been anything. You may have decided you're going to start reading. You're going to do personal development. Whatever it is, there would have been at least one or two things. But if you can, find 5 things. So for each of these questions, I want you to give me 5 things. So what did I accomplish in 2020? Okay, so the next question, question 2. What were your biggest disappointments in 2020? Now, for some, there might be lots, and I'm assuming, I like to assume, but for me, this was my biggest year, 2020, where I had trained for my bodybuilding competition. It didn't go ahead. That was seriously disappointing. Where I had holidays planned. I'd actually earned a trip through one of my businesses to go to the Bahamas with my family, and that didn't go ahead. I had holidays arranged with my girlfriends. A lot of my friends were turning 50. Happy birthday, girls, because I know you're watching. So yeah, all these things, but we can learn. We can learn. So what were your biggest disappointments in 2020? If you've got 5, great. If you've only got a couple, don't worry. But really don't be filling the page up, because what this isn't about is it's not about dwelling on the past, because we definitely don't want to do that. So question number 3. What did I learn in 2020? So did you learn anything about yourself? So I'm laughing because I learned I'm actually quite messy. I didn't think I was a messy person, despite my husband telling me on numerous occasions over the last 20 years, but I am quite messy. Just, yeah, untidy. That's probably a better thing. And not really trusting in myself enough. So whatever it is you learn in 2020, and again, it could be a new skill, it could be something about yourself, go deep. You know, it could be anything. It could be you learnt the names of your neighbours. You know, something as little as that. You learn how to use technology, all those kinds of things, just to kind of try and give you some ideas and inspiration. So question number 4. Question number 4. What 3 changes are you going to make in 2021 to ensure you do not have the same outcome that you had in 2020? So that's basically from those disappointments. What 3 things can you do in 2021 to make sure you don't have those same disappointments? So could it be, you know, say you wanted to lose weight and you might have started, say for me, yes, I had to put on weight to build the muscle. And then to keep my muscles growing, I lost weight. So I had to lose the fat and increase the muscle. And then when I started 2020 in the best shape of my life. I've been training for years, so I'm a qualified personal trainer, but I left 2020 in the worst shape of my life for me, for how I felt. So even if and the reason that happened was because I felt sorry for myself. I stopped doing the things that were getting me there. And that is the thing. You have to, and we'll cover that in a minute, but you have to be consistent with those things. And it can be the slightest, smallest, tiniest little thing. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but just what is it you can do in 2021 that is going to allow you to not have the same outcome of 2020. And this is things that you are in control of. So we cannot control the state of the economy. We cannot control our government and what they're telling us and those kind of guidelines, but you can control what you are in control of. Okay, so your actions, like the actions you can take to make a better change. You cannot rely on somebody else because you cannot control them. So it's what you can control. And that's a good way of avoiding disappointments, is you just need to stick to what you can do. And then it's you that you're accountable to, and it's you that can make that or break that. It's just you. Okay. So question 5, how did I limit myself in 2020? And what I mean by that is, what things did or didn't you do that stopped you from achieving the things that you wanted to achieve? So I am definitely a procrastinator. So this live here and these Talk on Tuesdays are a classic example of that. I really, really wanted to create podcasts, but I don't know how to use the technology. So I didn't do it. I procrastinated because I didn't know how to use the technology. So as we know, in November, we started these great episodes, and I just used what I knew, the technology that I know, and I know quite a lot. So it's kind of that you just create your own self-limiting beliefs most of the time. So you can pretty much do whatever you put your mind to. There is so much out there that can help you. I mean, I'm not going to show myself up with my age, but when we was at school and we wanted to find something out, we had to use an encyclopedia. And there wasn't just one encyclopedia, it was like a whole row of encyclopedias on the bookcase at home. And now, I mean, I've got one of those devices I can just ask. I can't say her name because she's here with me and I don't know what she's going to say on Facebook Live, so we won't go there. However, you can just ask out loud and they'll answer you. There's apps have built-in computers. They know the answers. Like our telephones. We've got Google. There are so many search engines and things out there that it's just, if the answers are at a touch of the button. And YouTube, you can get how-to videos on anything. And even the TV, I mean, I don't know how many channels there are now on the television, but I can tell you now, when I was growing up, there were 5. That was it. So technology and information is just at our fingertips. So if there's anything you need to know, it's out there. Someone's already done it. Just type it in and you'll find something about it. So yeah, so that completely limits procrastination. And what excuses are you telling yourself? Like, do you have that same excuse that you're saying all the time? You know, I'm not an early riser. I can't get up in the mornings. Well, you can get up in the mornings. I used to tell myself that all the time. I'm not a morning person. But I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to train every single day. I didn't turn blue. Didn't disperse into a pile of ash. Definitely if you want to get up early and start your day, you do it. You can do it. It's just those excuses that you are telling yourself. So get rid of those. Okay, let's turn the page. So number 6, I hope you're still following me. In what areas of my life am I not achieving what I want? So if you look at your life as a whole, so health, finances, family, relationships, all those kinds of things, and I'm going to break those down in a second. But if you look at all those things, what do you feel you're not achieving where you want to be right now? So just write 5 things down where you want to be, whether it's like financial, business, self-image, health, family, being present, like not getting distracted, all those things. What is it that you really want to look at to achieve this year? Just write those down. Okay, question 7. What can you say that explains these failures? So the things that you wrote down in question 6, so the areas of your life you're not achieving, what can you say that explains the reasons why that's not working? I mean, I can't tell you how many times procrastination came up when I was writing these down. Okay, we're all human. So yeah, so what is it that you can explain why you haven't achieved those things? So yeah, so I read your mind. So I have discipline, time management, frustration, procrastination, there's that word again, and lack of consistency. I'm still going to cover that again in a minute. So yeah, so they were my things that I wrote down for that. Okay, and then question 8 is, we want to now turn those things into positive points. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to make affirmations against each one of those. So an affirmation is basically a sentence where you're taking something negative and turning it into a positive. So rather than saying to yourself, I don't know, let's just take it for an example. I'm just too busy. I'm here, there, and everywhere all the time. You can just sit there and say, okay, I have all the time in the world. I have all the time in the world. And if it's a money issue, like you couldn't do the things you wanted to do because you didn't have any money, rather than keep telling yourself, oh, I haven't got any money, I've got this, I've got to find this for that, I've got to find that for that. I say to myself daily, I have more money than I know what to do with. I have more money than I know what to do with. Okay, so just take those negatives and turn them into a positive sentence. And if you want some more help on that, let me know. I'm going to be doing a few how-to videos over the next few weeks while we're cozying up indoors. So if there's anything that you want to know, just drop me a message and put it in the chat, and I can certainly look into that. But how to do affirmations is definitely going to be something on my list. Okay, so question number 9. Nearly there. What are your personal values? So what are your personal values? And break it down into 3 areas. So what are your best qualities? So what are your best qualities? So for me, I'm empathetic, kind, hopefully all my friends are agreeing with me here. But so think about those, like what are your best qualities? What do you value in yourself? And what do you look up to in other people? So 3 key areas. So the question is, what are your personal values? And then break that down into 3 different areas, or use these 3 questions to help you understand those personal values. What are your best qualities? So what are the qualities in you? And if you don't know, ask your friends. That's absolutely fine. What do you value in yourself? And what do you look up to in other people? So think about those things. Okay. And then this one is quite an interesting one. So number 10, what roles do you play in life? What roles do you play in life? So for me, this was like, oh man, like when you think about your your 24-hour day and the things you do. And like sometimes you can get to the end of the day and sit on the sofa and think, oh, I feel exhausted, but you haven't really achieved anything. When you actually write down the different roles that you do, you think, oh my God, no wonder I'm exhausted. But okay, so just to give you some examples, this is my list. I'm a daughter, I'm a mum, I'm a wife, I'm a stepmom, I'm a nan, I'm a business owner, a multiple business owner, I'm a friend, I'm a sister-in-law, and I'm a fur baby mama. So they're just the things I could think, okay, yeah, that's what I do, that's me. That's not without breaking down my roles within those businesses. But what is it that you do? Like, what roles do you play in your life? And then what I want you to do is I want you to number them 1 to 10, okay, in terms of how well you feel you performed those roles in 2020. That's quite a hard thing to do. So 10 is absolutely impeccable. I was the best daughter, the best mum, the best nan, the best business owner. Like, definitely nothing else I could improve on. That's a 10. 5 is pretty, we've got a lot of work to do. Anything under 5, yeah, we need to do a lot of work there. So give your scores. And be honest, because you have to be honest. I'm not asking you to share this with anybody, but be brutally honest with yourself, because if you cannot be honest with yourself, you will not be able to move forward. Okay? So, and if you need to shed a tear whilst doing this exercise, do it. It is fine. Anything that's inside you that you're not liking, you need to let it go. And if you let it go in a tear, let it go in a tear. If you need to write it down on a bit of paper and burn it, you can do that. That would be another how-to. Some burning rituals on letting it go. So now that you've done that, so what roles do you play in life? Written all those down, and you've given them a number from 1 to 10 on how well you believe you performed in those roles in 2020. I now want you to take 3 of those roles, and I want you to break them down into 1, 2, and 3, like top priority, second priority, and third priority, on the ones that you are going to commit to spending more time on and improving that score when we do this exercise again at the beginning of 2022. Okay, so just pick 3 of those and number them 1, 2, and 3 in the order of priority that you're going to give to those, and work on it. So really work on those relationships. Okay, and then number 11, in 2021, what will I do in each of those roles? So the 1, 2, and 3 that you've just selected, to improve that score. So what are you actually going to do within those relationships to improve them so that your score can be better next year? And then finally, in the goal setting bit, and you're probably thinking, well, I haven't actually set any goals yet. This is where we're going to do it. This is where we're going to set our goals. So question 12 is actually broken down into 7 sections. So there are 7 sections in our lives, if you like. So if you imagine a big wheel, like our life, it's like split up into different categories. So our first category is finance and wealth. So what I want you to do is I want you to write at least 3 goals for each of these categories. Okay, so finance and wealth. What are your financial and wealth goals for 2021? Whether that's to be able to have savings, to earn more money, to be able to invest, to have an extra income, learning how to invest, buying another property, whatever, or just creating a budget. Like, what are your finance and wealth goals for 2021? I mean, it could be as simple as you're going to go through all your utility bills and get new providers. You're going to get all your accounts in order. You're going to find a better mortgage rate. You're like, anything like that. One of my friends is an accountant, and she actually posted on her Facebook group this morning a whole load of different things that you can do to save money during these times. So yeah, that was quite interesting. So it could just be something as simple as that. So number 2, what are your career goals? So do you need to find a job? Are you looking to promote? Are you looking to pivot your business? Are you looking to become self-employed? What are your career goals? Are you looking for a new career? Do you want to train in something else? What is it that you're looking to do? So that's number 2. Number 3 in question 12. In your free time, what are your goals? So I love this. And I can't tell you, for the last at least 3 years, I have said to myself, right, two things that I was going to do. One, I was going to learn to play the piano. And the other is I'd like to learn Spanish. So they are both on my list. I do have a third. So I have a very, very huge interest in the universe and the spirit world. I'm actually starting a course on Thursday around that, just for myself because it's what I'm interested in. So that and my piano and learning Spanish. So if there's anyone on here that is looking to learn a language or any of those things, hook up, let me know, and we can have some accountability. So yeah, in your free time, what are your goals? And if you're sitting there thinking, well, free time, what is that? You need to reevaluate everything, and I can help you with that too. So number 4, what are your goals for your health and appearance? So do you want to, so for me, I've put, I want to lean up, I want to eat healthily, I want to be a certain dress size. I have equated that with a body weight, but body weight is always a bit flaky. I always usually tend to go with how my clothes feel and how I feel in myself if I'm on a weight loss or a weight gain plan. So what are your goals for health and appearance? I mean, it could be something like learning how to apply makeup, how to look after your skin, understanding what the menopause is, about any of these things. Okay, number 5, relationship goals. So what are your goals for relationships? So this is, and I don't just mean like your partner, spouse, husband, wife kind of relationships. This is all relationships. With a relationship with your children, relationship with your parents, relationship with your friends. I mean, it can be the relationship with your spouse, but what are your goals for your relationships? So you can pop that down. And then number 6, personal development. How are you going to grow yourself? Is it perhaps just saying to yourself, right, I'm going to get to know myself a bit more. I'm going to take some time out for myself. I'm going to study meditation. I'm going to do a bit of yoga. I'm going to read some books. So in every episode, I can guarantee you I'm going to recommend at least one book, which I have done so far. Today I have 2 books I'm recommending. So I've already recommended Best Life Yet. So I have another one at the end. But is it that you're going to read more? What is it that you're going to what is it you're going to do? Are you going to do your daily affirmations? So when we were back in, I'll tell you what question number it was. In question 8, we were turning our negative bits that we didn't achieve into positive sentences, which are affirmations. So are you going to commit to telling yourself those every single day? I cannot tell you the difference that they will make. So try it and then come back to me in 30 days and say to me, oh my God, Alex, doing those affirmations every single day has changed, and let me know how. And then lastly, what are your goals for community and charity? So what things can you do? Do you perhaps volunteer somewhere? Could you volunteer somewhere? What do you do for others? That can be within your community, or it can be within something you are passionate about. It may be helping a charity. You might want to set up your own charity. So I set up a Facebook support group in the first lockdown back in April, and called Siblings in the Sky, which is a support group. It's a community support group for brothers and sisters that have lost brothers and sisters through tragedy. And I am going to be taking that to charity level, but also I'm writing a book to help others that have lived through that situation, which I'm doing with another lady, a fabulous lady, Louise, who I met during lockdown online. So we're going to write that book together. So what is it that you can do to help others? Is it perhaps joining a food bank, donating to a food bank, anything like that? And then from those lists of 7 categories, highlight with your little highlighter pen, or circle, whatever you like to do to get those things like beaming in your face. Just take the top 10 things that you'd love to achieve in 2021. And then once you've got those 10 things, write those goals down every single day. When you get up in the morning, write the list of the 10 things that you're going to achieve, because the more you see those, the more you will you're likely to follow them. So I just have a little sip of my drink. Thank you. So that is how to set your goals. Okay, so I did say at the beginning, it's like 2 parts. So this is going to be longer than usual this morning. But so that's the first thing. And what I'm going to do is I will provide a list of those questions in the blog, and I'll see if I can post them within this link on Facebook as well. And if I can attach them to YouTube, that'd be amazing. So I'll get those there, and just some other information that will help you for setting your goals. So now what we need to do is, it's like, well, now I've got those goals, how am I actually going to make them happen? Because it's all very well, writing stuff down and believing in the power of the universe, but unless we're actually taking daily consistent action to achieve those, it's not just going to fall in our laps, because the world doesn't work like that. So it's what activity and what action are we going to take to make those 10 goals we've just set ourselves for 2021 an absolute reality. And it's all about your standards. So what do you set your standards on? Like, are you someone that will just be like, oh, well, if I don't get it, it doesn't matter. Oh, well, no, I've tried that and it didn't work. So we'll just cross that goal off. We won't have that goal anymore. Or are you someone that's like, right, these are my goals. These are what I want to do. And I am going to do it no matter what. Is that your attitude? Because that's the attitude that will get them done. So how do you make your goals a reality? So here, we're just literally going to go through 5 quick questions. So the first one, how long do you usually last once you've set a goal? So when you set yourself a goal, do you like write the goal down? Are you like, yes, all for it? And then the following day you wake up and you're like, oh, no, what was I thinking? Not a goal. So a day or a week, 2 weeks. If you're 2 weeks, that's pretty good. A month, 3 months, or until it is done. So what category are you in? So if you're like there's another book, which is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself and How to Create New Habits, which is by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So that is an amazing book, but it only takes 21 days to create a new habit. So if you can, even if you can just go for a month in pushing like tiny little steps to each of those goals, you'll create habits that will help you to move forward, and they'll just become part of like cleaning your teeth. But you don't have to schedule or set yourself a little note to say, oh, I need to remember to clean my teeth this morning. You just do it. You get up, clean teeth, you go to bed, you clean your teeth. That's what you do. Sometimes you might have lunch, you clean your teeth. Just depends where people are. So, you know, it'll be like cleaning your teeth. You don't have to schedule it in. You just do it. It's part of your daily routine. Like washing your hair, having a shower, getting dressed is part of your daily routine. Okay, so number 2, what usually stops you and what's your favourite excuse? So you can use some of the points that we already covered in question 7. You can do that, but it's really about, if you don't change, nothing will change. So if nothing changes, nothing changes, pretty much. So it is just making those small, tiny, little shifts. And really, you have to become someone that you have never been before. Because if you want something that you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. And if you want to be someone you've never been, you need to become somebody. You need to become that person. And everyone is very different. I'm someone that I will grow through pressure. I'm very much like, okay, I've got this to do. Oh, the deadline's coming, I better do it. And I literally am 11th hour. But because the deadline's there, I know I've got to do it. I've got to deliver. So I have to do it. But through pressure, we grow and we grow strength. So really think about those things. Okay, number 3. How do you do the things that you don't want to do? So, like perhaps getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to train. How do you do it? What do you do to make those changes? How do you do the thing you don't want to do? How do you ring your boss and say, you've given me far too much extra work. This is not within my job description. I'm doing 2 people's work now. Please, can you give me a raise? How do you do that? How do you get on a bike if you've not been on a bike for years? You just have to fight through the fear, and you just have to do it. You just have to do it. But what is your coping mechanism for those things? How do you go through the fear? And yeah, like, what is it that you're putting off? So what are you putting off doing because of those feelings? So because of those things you're not doing, what is it that you're putting off? Because it could just be something so small and simple to fix. So what is it? What is it you need to do to be able to do those things that you have been putting off? And then number 4, how do I force myself to get uncomfortable? So what I mean by that is sometimes we are happy doing things that we're comfortable, happy doing. So I'm quite happy and comfortable sitting here chatting to you. I know there are other people that would be going, there is absolutely no way on this earth I'm going to sit on a Facebook Live for an hour chatting to people that I can't see. I'm not going to do that. That's comfort. But when I first started doing these, I've been doing Facebook Lives for about 4 years now. But when I first started doing them, I wasn't comfortable at all. Wasn't comfortable. I had a boot camp business, and my coach at the time was like, you need to do these Facebook Lives. This is how people are interacting now. This is how you'll get bumped up and get seen. And I was like, oh my God, all right, I'm in my fitness gear with no makeup on, and you want me to video myself? Okay. I hated it. But the more you do something, it becomes a habit and it becomes natural. And definitely 2020, if anyone was uncomfortable seeing themselves or hearing their own voice on the phone or being recorded back or anything like that, you pretty much should have overcome that in 2020, because Zoom replaced Netflix. I'm sure of it. Zoom definitely replaced Netflix in 2020. So you're going to be able to hear yourself and things like that. And if you want to practice, use voice notes on your phone instead of texting people. I do that all the time. I don't know if it annoys people or not, but I find it much better because, one, you can get your feelings across, you can express yourself better, and you can listen to yourself back and you can understand, okay, that's what I sound like. That is my voice. So get familiar and comfortable. But get uncomfortable doing things that you just worry about doing, you've got a fear of doing, because as soon as you do it, it's brilliant. There is actually, where is it? So yeah, I'm just going to do a little exercise. So someone did this exercise with me yesterday, actually. So just get your hands together. So put your hands together like this, and that feels quite comfortable. Okay, yeah, feels nice and comfortable. Now take them apart and do them the other way around, and it feels a bit weird, doesn't quite feel so comfortable. So now, it does feel a bit weird. So now I want you to put it back to normal. So right, back to normal here. So just do this process 5 or 6 times. So go the other way and back to normal, the other way and back to normal, the other way and back to normal. And the thing is, the more you keep doing that, it's like, oh, actually, they both feel exactly the same. Because you've done it so many times, it now feels comfortable. It doesn't feel weird. It doesn't feel different anymore. Like, how amazing is that? Brilliant. So just do that. The more times you do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, you will become comfortable. And then lastly, how do I do the things I've never done? How do I do the things I've never done? You learn it and you just do it. So you've just got to ignore, if you're one of these people that care about what other people think, like a brilliant line that I love is, what other people think of you is none of your business. That is their opinion, not your opinion. So yeah, let them have their opinions. You can have yours. But it's just doing it. Just take those goals and the things you're going to do what you need to do to implement each of those. If you don't know how to do it, Google it. If you want some more help, message me. I can help you. So just really make 2021 your best year yet. Do not worry about outside influences because you cannot control that. Do it for you. Do what you can control and make this year about you and being resilient and growing in your own power and having that strength. So just to recap on the books, so we've got Your Best Year Yet by Ginny Ditzler, and we have Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So I will put all of those questions, I'll get them out there for you so you can just download them. Have an amazing 2021. If you want to share your goals, what you've set up for yourself, then please do so. It will be so brilliant to get some interaction going. And I will see you on the third Tuesday. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Alex Dawson. This is Providing the Ingredients for a Healthy Life. And I will see you very soon. Take care.